So just a follow-up on the bench supply issue that I mentioned in the last video. I thought I would just test it with a dummy load, and it's a bit sort of hair trigger sensitive, but that's fine. We can get it right on the limit, because if you go just over 1 amp, of course the power supply goes into limit and shuts down basically. So anyway, let's turn on the output. There we go. So that's just under 1 amp, and I can slowly increase this so that it does reach 1 amp. Not quite on the dial, it says 0.96, but that's fine. Up here it believes it's 1 amp, and you can see when it hits that 1 amp, we get our 4.29. And it's, as I say, it's very hair trigger sensitive, but there we go. And when it's on 4.29, it's only still putting out 4.2 effectively. So that's measured right at the bench supply, so that's exactly what it's putting out, and it's gone into limit there. There we go. So yeah, right on that 1 amp there, and it I wonder what happens. Let me increase the limit there so that I get a bit more room to move, and then I can tweak the dial a bit better without it going into limit. So let's go, we're just over 1 amp there, and it's reading accurate. Yeah, so I don't quite know what condition is met to cause that. Let's go back below 1 amp, and then let's come back up. Yeah, okay, so it has to be using the current limit in order for it to fault. Let's just drop that and see if we can approach 1.1. So at 1.1, the same at that current limit, it says 4.29 again, but it's only 4.2. So what happens if we go to a lesser current limit? Here we go. So we set our limit at 0.7, and when we hit that limit at 4.2 volts, it says 4.29 again. Okay, so let's try maybe a different voltage. What if it was 3.2? And we come up to 0.7 of an amp. No, that doesn't change. Okay, 4.1. This says 4.12, so a slight variance there. 4.2 again. We get our 4.29. Only in constant current. See, it's switched to constant current, and then it goes 4.29. What about 5.2? No. So it's just around that 4.2 volts. Now, here we go. It's definitely putting out the correct value, it's just displaying the wrong value. So it's not going to blow up your kit that you're powering. It is putting out the right voltage, it's just for some reason displaying the wrong voltage. Which makes me wonder if it's not a display of the actual terminal voltage, but maybe a calculation of what it thinks it should be, maybe based on the current and what you set it at and stuff. I don't know. I got no idea. I just realized my autofocus wasn't dead center, so sorry if that was a bit blurry in points, but yeah, it makes me wonder if it's not a measured voltage, if it's a calculated voltage that it's displaying and it's just a little calculation issue. Anyway, I thought that would be interesting to follow up with using a DC load and mimicking a battery. But yeah, there you have it. Carry on.